Alright, let's talk about Benidorm. If you're planning a trip to Benidorm and want to have some fun or maybe some good food and a fun time, Benidorm is a great place for you to go. It's one of the best, most popular spots on the Costa Blanca, and there's a lot to enjoy whether you're going with friends, family or on your own, because I'm a loner. Okay, let's break it down step by step so you know what to expect and how to get the most out of your trip to sunny Benidorm. Listen to this, you'll like this. Okay, the first thing first is to know this, that getting to Benidorm is from Alicante Airport. Most people fly into Alicante Airport. It's the closest airport to Benidorm and it's only about 45 minutes drive away from there, so it's not really far, is it? Now, the best and cheapest way to get from Alicante Airport to Benidorm, there's a few ways. That means there's a few options. You'll like this. The first thing you can do is take a shuttle bus. This is shared service with other travellers. If you don't mind that, fantastic, because it's cheap, easy, and it runs often. I think it's usually around every hour or so. You're not waiting around long, really, are you? It's better than the UK. You'd be waiting all bloody day. So prices usually start from around 10 to 12 euros per person. And when I say that price, that's usually the top amount of money that you will pay. When I've been there, you usually pay between 7 and 8. But let's use that guide, 10 to 12 per person, so then you're not stuck, and we don't want any unwanted surprises. Remember, you can book it online or before you travel. It's as simple as that. You don't have to do it. You can do it there and then at that point, or again, you can book it online. Just go on to google.com. It's called the internet. It's been around for at least 30 years. So this shuttle bus takes a bit longer than a taxi because it drops people off at different hotels along the way. But if you're not in a rush, then that's a great option. This is the one I tend to use. The next one that you could do would be something like a private transfer. This is like booking your own taxi in advance. It's more expensive than a shuttle, but it takes you straight to the hotel with no stops, and it's faster and a lot more comfortable, especially if you have lots of luggage or children. You can also get a taxi right outside the airport. It's quick, but it's the most expensive option, usually around 70 to 90 euros to get you from Alicante Airport to your hotel. So it's a lot of money, isn't it, before you've even got to your bloody hotel. So if you're on a budget, go for the shuttle or pre-booked transfer. Remember, there's also a bus service run by a company called ALSA. Remember that, ALSA. This public coach that runs from the airport to Benidorm, it's clean, air conditioned and very, very cheap. It's around 10 euros. And the only thing is, it might not drop you right off outside your hotel, but you will need to walk or get a taxi from the bus stop to your hotel. Now, when I've used this service, when it takes you to the bus station, you can literally walk from Benidorm bus station into your hotel, but it does take about half an hour, and that's the furthest you'll walk. So if you're closer, it could take 15 minutes. But again, if you've got little kids with you and a load of luggage, you don't want that, do you? This is more if you're a solo traveler. So now you know how to get there. It's not rocket science, it's dead easy. You get on the plane, you get off the plane, and then you can get a taxi, a shuttle bus, or a normal bus. Or you can walk if you really want to, it's not that far. But what is the best time to visit Benidorm? When is the best time to actually go? Well, listen to this. You've got to remember that Benidorm is a place that you can visit all year round, but the experience changes a lot to do with it dependent on the season. In other words, the bloody weather. So you've got peak season, which is in the summer from late June to early September. This is when the weather is the hottest and the town is full of tourists. If you love a busy vibe packed with beaches and lots of nightlife, then this is the time to go. Just know prices for flights and hotels are a lot higher in the summer, which is to be expected because they want your money. However, if you prefer it a bit quieter, the best months to visit are May, early June, September and October. The weather is still lovely, warm, but not too hot, and things are a bit cheaper. There are fewer crowds and it's easier to get into restaurants and bars, so you're not waiting up, because believe me, when it gets busy, it gets really busy and you spend most of the time queuing up. You can't even get a seat at a restaurant or bar. You don't want that. So for the quietest times, go between November and March. It's cooler, but still much warmer than the UK or Holland. The reason I mention Holland is because a lot of people come from Holland to Benidorm. It's a good time for relaxing, nice walks. It's less busier and the hotels aren't as busier, and the flights are cheaper. And just keep in mind that not everything will be open. Some bars and places are closed for the winter because they're not going to open if there's not any customers. But if you're not really that bothered and you don't mind a few bars being open and restaurants, then there you go. There's your door. Walk through it. That's when you should go away. So let's get this right then. Why would anyone really want to go to Benidorm? Why would you want to go to Benidorm? Well, let's look at this. Benidorm attracts all kinds of people. In the summer, you'll find lots of families, groups and friends coming together in couples from the UK. Holland, again, because a lot of people from Holland come there, and other parts of Europe. It gets very lively, especially in the new town, with music, beach bars and entertainment and shows on every single night. You certainly won't be bored. With Dutch visitors often come into spring and autumn, you'll notice a lot of Dutch families and older couples enjoying a quieter time and a quieter month when it's not too hot. Many Dutch holidaymakers also visit during the school holidays or perhaps long weekends. You'll see a pattern of it. But then there is winter, which is very popular with retired people, especially people from the UK and Holland who go there to enjoy the mild weather to escape the cold weather back home. You'll find it calm and a slower vibe during these months. And think about it, putting the electricity on, the heating on in England is very expensive. And when you put the heating on, you put it on in winter. So instead of putting the heating on, just go to Benidorm. It's free. So what's the difference between the old town and then the new town? Well, Benidorm is split into two main parts, the old town and the new town, and they are quite different. There's a reputation out there that people say Benidorm's like Blackpool in the sun, and they're kind of right to an extent. That's in the new town because it's not like Blackpool, but it's very loud, and you get a lot of young people, not just young people, you get a lot of people having a good time, drinking and dancing and shouting and raving and dressing up and acting silly. They're letting go of their lives because they're escaping reality. They're on bloody holiday, and that's their fun. Now, some people don't like that. Some people get intimidated by all that side of things, but again, that's in the old town. So if you don't like that, you just avoid it and go this part because it's completely different. They're not the same thing. One's alive, one's more chilled, but still busy, but very relaxed. So let's go into this a little bit more deeper. Let's start with the old town. This area has very narrow streets, Spanish charm and a more of a traditional feel. You'll find local tapas bars, shops and cafes. It's great if you want a slower pace, more culture and a relaxed time. It also has a very beautiful viewpoint called the balcony of the Mediterranean, where you can see the sea and all the coastline, and it is perfect for taking photographs, especially selfies. You'll always find this when people go to Benidorm. They're sitting there posing, and in the background you've got the Mediterranean. It looks really good. So let's move forward. Now let's talk about the new town where all the party happens. It's full of bars, clubs, live music and a British style pubs. You'll find lots of British people there. It's louder, brighter and busier, especially in the night. This is a place for you if you are going with friends, like a group of friends, and want to have a good time. It's also where you'll find many all-inclusive hotels and high-rising buildings. It's a big party, and if you're interested, then get yourself to the old new town. Well, not the old one, that's that one, the new town. Talking about the old town, getting all discombobulated. Some people like to stay in the old town and then visit the new town for fun, because that way you get the best of both worlds. If you want to chill, you chill. If you want to have fun, you have fun, but you can always go back. But if you stay in the fun part, you can't escape it. It's constant. So what can you expect on your trip? Well, Benidorm has everything you need for a great holiday. There are two main beaches. One's called Levante and the other one is called Poneti. I can never pronounce it, but both are clean and have soft sand and offer sunbeds and sun lounges and showers, and there's lifeguards protecting you while you're swimming around in the sea. Levante Beach is a lot more livelier with music and water sports, but Poneta Beach is a lot quieter, more relaxed and more chilled vibe. You'll also find a lot of restaurants from the Spanish foods like palelli and tapas. Tapas is gorgeous. If you haven't tried it, get on it, it's lovely. And then there's full English breakfasts and Dutch snacks. There is something for everyone. Prices are usually very good and you can eat well on a budget, literally. I'd say it's a lot cheaper than England, especially in London. And it's a lot better than London, in my opinion. So when we look at the nightlife of the new town, the nightlife is one of Benidorm's biggest attractions. There are cabaret shows, karaoke bars, live bands and dance clubs, in other words, nightclubs. We all like a dance, don't we? It's easy to have fun, no matter where you go. So make a choice, old town, new town. What about if you want to get out the box? What if you want to go and have a nose? If you like day trips, you can visit nearby towns like Altea or Villajoyosa. Both are charming and easy to reach by bus. Again, buses are like clockwork and they're very inexpensive. They're always floating around like moths to a lamp. It's very simple to get a bus, so don't worry about that. Or you can get the tram, that's another option that you can do. You can also take a boat ride or go to a water park like Aqualandia, which is basically Aqualand. It's a good day out. So in summary, Benidorm is a holiday sport that offers something for everyone. If you plan your trip well, you can save money, have a great time, and think when you want to go, because this is all about what you're going to get. How busy do you really like it? And what kind of holiday are you looking after? What is it you want? Because if you, again, you've got the options, busy, not as busy, but still busy. But you can go in the old town and relax, and you can go in the new town and dance. But you can also do both, yeah? Swings and roundabouts, you can relax and dance. So how do you get from A to B, old town to new town? If you want to go to each one of them, literally you can walk. It's about, they say it's an hour, but I reckon you can do it in half an hour from there to there, and you can get from one end to the other. So again, if you're young, you can walk. But if you're old, you can, suppose you'll have to get a taxi. But it's lovely, so it's nice to just walk around anyway. You're on holiday, for crying out loud. So getting there from Alicante Airport is easy and affordable, especially if you book a shuttle bus. And remember, Old Town is great for a chilled out vibe, while New Town is also about fun and energy. Benidorm is ready for you. And I can assure you, if you go, you'll literally love it. But the moral of the story is, Know what you want. Old town or new town. Busy party, quiet chill. And you mix the both, and then you're in paradise.